Step aside, Beyonce and Jay-Z. Go back to Africa, Brad and Angelina. There's a new power couple taking America by storm. From weekend trips to Prague to VIP visits to some of New York's hottest clubs to their collection of antique Chinese samurai swords. This couple's jet-setting lifestyle will have you saying, "What recession? This is the fabulous life of Kat and Dan."
New York City, home of popular celebs like Paris Hilton, Lindsay Lohan, and Uma Thurman. Considered one of the top 10 most expensive cities in the world, home of some of the finest restaurants like Nobu and the Palace. This is the place that Kat and Dan chose as their kingdom. Sitting aloof in their Upper East Side apartment with neighbors such as the Trumps and the Rockefellers, they use the city as their personal playground. But how did they get here? VH1 gives you an exclusive inside look into their lives. Here's what the paparazzi won't be able to tell you.
Catherine was born in Guangxi, China, the oldest of two children of Rong Lu and Ping Chen. Kat grew up being used to the jet-setting lifestyle, having lived in China, Seattle, New York, Chicago, and Philadelphia. Her childhood was that of a charmed one, involving time spent in her family's private gardens and beaches. How would her close friends describe her?
She's obviously this incredibly attractive woman, and smart and funny, but she's more than that. I mean, she's very smart and she's very funny in a way that she just touches on this nerve with people.
As a person, she's a fantastic poet. Honestly, she's so witty and she's a wonderful, wonderful writer. And so I don't know if people know that or not. I'm a fan of her, so I did know that beforehand. But she's just a fantastic person. She's got a really wonderful outlook on life and a killer sense of humor. She's my kind.
Kat grew up in a science-oriented family, and it was no surprise that she eventually gave up her promising career as a professional roller skater to become a doctor. But the road to science was not without sacrifice. Along the way, she had to give up her dream of being a professional food connoisseur and her brief but powerful calling as a model. But no matter where she went or what she was doing, one thing stayed constant: her haircut. Kat has always been close to her family. Her parents encouraged her academic pursuits at a young age. As always the studious, well-prepared type, she got an early start to life. She learned the table of elements as an infant and wrote a manifesto in middle school, proving how Jurassic Park was impossible. Born Dai Yu in warm and sunny Harbin, having always been the leader of the pack, he became the youngest member of the Communist Party, having the Chinese national anthem being his first spoken words. This childhood milestone not only marked his love of China, but his lifelong passion to sing.
His mother and my mother became friends in high school and sort of never left each other's sides. We're more like brothers than friends.
After relocating to New York to be closer to the entertainment industry and the musical talents of producers such as Timbaland, Dai transformed himself. Much like Marshall Mathers created Eminem, Dai created his alter celebrity persona, Dan, that's a D-A-N. This Asian sensation took New Jersey by storm, impressing everyone not only with his musical talents, but also with his athletic abilities.
Handsome.
Athletic.
We bet on the basketball game against each other, and so it's great to have that closeness.
Really committed, really funny. I'm a huge fan.
He was such a virtuoso of trendiness that even other celebrities wanted to imitate him. For example, one of his closest friends, Yao Ming of the Houston Sharks, modified himself to look even more similar to Dan. When asked about his friend's choice, Dan humbly replied, "Well, imitation is the most sincerest form of flattery, so I guess I'm flattered that Yao wants to be more like me." But like any young celebrity, Dan had troubled moments. Fame and money were not always easy to deal with, and Dan fell into the gang life in Philly, joining a bunch of young thugs known as the Lambdas. Despite the money and fame, something was missing from his life.
And that's when he met Kat, a smart girl who understood his misunderstood soul and saved him from going down that troubled road. From the moment he met her, and a half a year since that moment, he knew he wanted to date her. Using his personality and sometimes even resorting to his diva-like fits, he eventually won her over.
Friends for a few years, and she's fantastic.
So would that be a no? You're not engaged?
No, she's in a relationship. She's, no, we're friends.
And ever since then, they've become inseparable. In 2008, Dan popped the question nowhere else but Napa Valley. When asked why he didn't do it in Paris or in his favorite city of Beijing under Chairman Mao's picture at Tiananmen Square, his response was Paris was way overrated, and even though the Beijing proposal would have been the optimal one, he couldn't get the tickets in time between his busy recording sessions. When asked what attracted her to Dan, Kat sheepishly replied, his sense of humor, his kindness, his Asian pop star persona.
I wanted to say congratulations. It's a huge night for you, and I'm so proud, and I really wish I could.
So what's it like to live the lives of Kat and Dan? In his own words, Dan's response: "We give the gang on Gossip Girl a run for their money. We are the Upper East Side." Carefully planned impromptu vacations to Iceland and Bermuda, just to name a few. High-end shopping excursions to Manola Blahnik and Woodbury Commons. Candlelit dinners at Daniel's and Papaya Dogs. This couple has it all. And why shouldn't they? They're young, successful, and perfect together. Congratulations to the happy couple.